This right here is the highly anticipated Scale 118 Greenlight Ford Crown Victoria NYPD. So what makes this car so special is that it comes standard for around $47 to $55, depending on where you buy it, with lights and sounds. So this is as if you built one of these cruisers yourself, except it comes pre-made. Really, really cool idea. Now, the pre-orders were going out starting last July, and it was just delayed and delayed and delayed, but it's finally here, and I have to say that I'm not impressed with it at all. I got it because I was looking at the value for money. Wow, I mean, you get full lights and a siren for $50, and sometimes it costs that much just to get a light bar on the top, not to mention the time that it takes to make it. So the fact that this is Greenlight, you guys know that this is one of my favorite model manufacturers because they make fine interiors, carpeting. This is, you might as well call this a Motor Max, an old Motor Max, because this is the poorest quality Greenlight that I've ever seen. It's very, very disappointing in its quality. But I know why you're all here, is to listen to the sirens, so I'll do that. There's a little switch on the bottom that turns it on and off, so there's a switch there. You put it in the center, that's off. Move it over here, short, so the lights and sounds will turn on or turn off after a while. Then long, it pretty much stays on forever. So that's where the sound comes from. There's a little button here that controls all that, which you push once, and you get some lights going. Not too bad, although I will note that it appears that they mixed up the wig-wag headlights here, and then the strobes in the center. It should be the opposite, but at least it has a nice pattern. The back, on the other hand, has a little bit of a pattern. If I cover up this, you can kind of see that the taillights are following some sort of light pattern that's somewhat realistic to an actual car, but then we have these two lights blinking kind of boringly. Back does not open. You wouldn't really want to. There's a lot of circuit boards under there. I took it apart, and it has an unrealistic pattern on the rotator light bar, which is very, very dim. In this light, you can barely see it's even on there. But, of course, another one. It's got sirens. If I can just find the button again. There we go. Now, it continues in that sort of on and off pattern. So it goes up, stops. It's not a nice fluid sound as if this was a real police car. But anyway, $50, what can you expect? So let me just turn that off. If you don't turn it off, you might run down the battery. Now let's get on to the other issues of this car. Why is this like a Motor Max? Because this is the exact same car as a Motor Max. It's with a Greenlight badge on it. That's all it is, with some lights in it. And you can see it's this exact same setup on the interior. That same, black plastic, really nothing else there. Same guard in the back. Minor detail changes, like they actually did put the silver striping around the windows, which they're supposed to have. Does not feature a push bar like the NYPD cars should. And what's nice about this is they actually got the corner light correct. It's not all amber like the Motor Max has. It's actually has the small amber piece there. Dog dish tires look pretty nice, but be careful. You can see it's already starting to peel off. Underneath it's chrome and it's just painted black on there. Same thing as the Motor Max if you get that. On to the very, very poor paint quality of this car. If I pan around, notice that there is, spots there all over the car that indicate that this just wasn't very well painted. This right here actually looks like it wasn't even finished. If I rub my hand over it, it feels like it was hand painted with a brush. Really, really bad. Now the other door came pretty loose, so it was loose upon opening it, so I took apart the car and sealed it again. But only to find out that if you open up these doors, it can take off these decals. You can see really up close here. See how that's kind of peeled back? That's because I opened up this door. So it actually rubs against this and peels it off. Now speaking of the decals, very, very poor quality. Be careful when you're touching it. This was just me holding the car. It just comes right off. So, especially along the edges, really, really careful. This car is meant to sit, not be touched, because otherwise you might just have problems. Does it look nice? Yes, it's a Crown Victoria Police Interceptor with dog dish tires with the NYPD livery. It looks pretty nice, but not of high quality. You can see that the rear wheels, they wobble quite significantly. Unlike the Motor Max, which are pretty solid on there, these just aren't. Steering's pretty tough, but it works, which is good. Go under here. Look familiar, right? It's the Motor Max. Motor Max Crown Victoria. I swear, they just bought the mold from Motor Max to build this car. I mean, if this, I expect to see carpet, I expect to see, colored in buttons. This is a Greenlight, but just no. Underneath, they don't even color in the exhaust. It just continues and continues. For $50, yes, I understand it has lights and sounds, but one, the sound isn't of very high quality, and two, the lights aren't of very high quality. So I don't mean to be so mean to this car. It's just, it didn't live up to my expectation of Greenlight. I expect when they're going to produce a car, no matter what the price is, even if they put in these lights and sirens, I want quality first. Manage the quality, get me a Crown Victoria that has really nice interior as well as an engine, and then put on the lights. I'll pay an extra $30 for it. I don't want $50 for this system. Now that I've sufficiently damaged it enough, I'm going to damage it again because I forgot something. These gaps throughout the car are significant. My brother got one of these exact same cars, and the hood doesn't close properly, and there's a huge gap there. It just doesn't fit together well. Really disappointing. Oh yeah, and that doesn't light up, the rear traffic advisor. Also, it doesn't fit with the NYPD livery. In some details, there's supposed to be some lettering here. There's supposed to be bumper stickers on the back. It would have been nice if they put an American flag on there like that is on the real car, and a number on the license plate. License plate looks pretty cool, but that's not accurate. And then some numbers on the back there. So lots of spots that they missed. All right, now I promise I'm going to get to the good stuff. Other than the poor quality of the decals and the fact that they missed some out, the ones that are there are pretty good. Police department, that's really very easy to read. Nicely well done. It's on there. So that's good. Continuing there, not that bad. And at least the doors in the back do open, which sometimes doesn't happen. And as far as the lights go on top, they're sturdy. They're going to be on there for good. So you shouldn't worry about that. Now, just so you know, this runs on 3 AAA batteries, which screw into here. I could unscrew it, but I don't have a screwdriver with me. And it's pretty simple. It just works, kind of like one of those Tonka lights and sounds things that you might have as a kid or might have had as a kid, which I know I had plenty of them. I enjoyed them quite a bit. So this is kind of like a reborn version of that. But anyway, that's all for the Greenlight NYPD police car. Let me just finish this off with some lights because that's always what we want. Nice, look at that. At least it has that, I almost feel like I just make it myself. Thanks for watching, hope this helps.